Scope, it's Laura. Hi replay viewers, hi live viewers. I wasn't even really planning on scoping right now. Hi, thanks for jumping on. But it has been way too long. No, wait, I heard there are new controls and I'm so curious. Yes, oh, that's fun, although I don't know how that works for me really. Hi everybody. So today we could talk a little bit about fabrics. I have fabric swatches to discuss with you if you want. Hi Chris Keys, how are you doing? How are your classes going? Hi KK. Oh, that's funny. We have Chris Keys and KK, which is funny because it all goes together. Oh my gosh, one's so sweet. I'm so excited because I didn't think... Let me turn this thing off. I didn't think on, and now people are here. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, look at my hair. I haven't been on lately because I got to tell you the truth. Hi, Myra. See what happens when I get out of practice? I'm really happy you're here. I have been, I got myself worked up into such a tizzy about what to scope about that I haven't scoped at all. Is that what they call, isn't that the best? Wait, you mean, Myra, do you mean the illustration class? Hi, Honora. Welcome, newcomers. Please introduce yourself. Are you taking... Oh, Myra, you made my day. What chapter are you on? So Myra is in my online fashion sketching program. And it's so funny. Whenever I think about that class, people always told me, create quick classes. Create short classes. I know that my class is not quick or short. But at the university, I got so spoiled having a whole semester with my students that, hi, Karen! I kind of spoil myself by creating a whole journey where you go from learning your art supplies and model drawing to technical drawing to color illustration. Thank you, Karen. Karen, I'm on your Facebook now, so I saw one of this face illustration, Karen's bridal illustrator. This face illustration with the veil, it was incredible up close. Because usually I see your stuff on Instagram or on here, so I see it smaller. Ah, thank you. So, Chris Keys, this is Brazilian. All my favorite clothes are Brazilian. This is a bodysuit. Well, I don't know if I should be showing. It's like a leotard. I love those because they stay tucked in. And but what I really love about the Brazilian ones is the kind of patterns. Ah, so let me show you. Yeah, let me show you what's up with the fabrics. But when I bought this, it was really hard to pick just one. That's Brazil for you. Look at that. It's got like floral and animal print. So everything. Hi. You will find another that speaks to you. Another bodysuit? I don't know. Okay. So what I was going to do, I did a scope. Hi, Sherika. Gang's all here. Sometimes I come on and nobody's here. I'm so excited. Okay. It's, what do you call it? Positive reinforcement when you do scopes and people come and then you're like, oh, I'm going to scope more. By the way, really like that Brazilian Vogue issue with Naomi. You saw that? Yeah, we were actually on this scope. I was on Periscope. I don't know if anyone was here when Baby Brillo, she's one of my, one of our family here on my Periscope. She said, Laura, Naomi Campbell is on the cover of Brazilian Vogue. And I was like, oh. And then the next day I was on Instagram and the picture showed up. And so I was moved to illustrate it. I actually illustrated that picture in the parking lot outside. Thanks for inviting followers. You're making my day. Go figure. When you don't plan, that's when it works the best. I sketched that illustration on my iPad in the parking lot outside of TJ Maxx because I was kid-free. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate that so much. And by the way, Myra, if you have any questions right now while you're at it, let me know. And also, Myra, Chris Keys also is a fashion illustrator and teacher, and you must know Karen as well. So you're really like, we can really circle the wagons if you have any questions. So this is just a random page. Yeah, oh, it's so funny. I'm 43, okay? So now it's like, if I can see this, I can't read this. I can't read the comments. Like, my sis buys Vogue mag from everywhere she travels. You see, I've always had this obsession, and I found out that it's true also in my horoscope, which is kind of funny, that because I have Aquarius moon or something, I love other worlds. I love new things. So ever since I was very young, what fascinated me so much was the Japanese designers, you know, Issey Miyake. Anything that brought nations and other worlds together, things that would break me out of my, wow, that's exciting. Oh, I wish I could, darn it, I'm trying to see your name and my eyes aren't working. Do you travel? Where do you travel? And what do you travel for? Do you travel for work? Most of these I picked up in the garment district in New York at fabric stores. It's really great if you live in a city where you can just do that. Because as any of you may or may not know, once you want fabric swatches, they can be hard to find. But if you have them, it's a gold mine just for fun since you can work remotely. That is the lifestyle. There you are, fabric. I gotta follow you. That is the lifestyle I am trying to create for myself. Oh, Melissa Fabregas, we are together. Wait, voiceovers. Oh, that's so cool. Your client, oh, yeah, well, you know, there's no shame in it. This is the new world, the new generation, and especially for women, well, and well, for anyone, this old model of being chained to your desk someplace, you know, there's other ways to work. I know that as a mom, you know, I need to find other ways to earn my living and live. Voiceovers, isn't that awesome? So if you don't have access to swatches and you are studying, for example, Myra, you sew, right? You probably have a stash. These fabrics, for example, I have these swatches, but I can't actually get all these fabrics. Some of them I can, some of them I can't. But if you are making rice, you have tons of swatches. So what I think you should really do, it sounds glamorous to us. Guess what else isn't glamorous? Fashion. Fashion isn't glamorous. To say the least, it gets pretty ugly. So, I mean, it can be glamorous. So, yeah, all these things. See, I have a lot of students at Parsons will be like, I'm studying fashion now to get out of my cubicle job. I always dreamed of working in a creative industry. And yes, that's there. Fashion can also be extremely unglamorous because the glamour is what we put out front, right? I mean, this is the industry of, you know, sweatshops and unpaid internships and staying up all night, ripping things out and doing them again. And there's a whole lot. Oh my gosh, so hi everybody. So these are just some these are actually different fabric stories. And what I usually do is I won't put them all together because it can really make you nauseous to see a lot of different stories at once. Hello, welcome newcomers. Please introduce yourself. What I like to do is have separate stories and I put them on separate pages. Let me just get a piece of paper. But the thing is, if you want to design and do sketches, like Myra, you're working on your fashion sketching, you definitely want to have snippets. At least like 2 by 2 inches if you can. Snippets and pieces of the fabrics that are in your stash so that you can create design concept boards. Like you might take these 3 colors and then design a whole collection of dresses. I struggle with my mood boards, but upload it to the VoiceThread. Wait a minute, you're in VoiceThread? Uh-oh, wait. We have to talk because if you're using VoiceThread, that's great. I wonder if I can... See, I was doing private VoiceThread groups for my coaching classes, but it kind of made to be such a headache, okay? And so if you're up there, I want to make sure that I'm getting to them. So Myra, info@fashionillustrationtribe.com is my email, info. I want to make sure that you stay in touch with me and send me the links to your VoiceThreads. Could you please send me the links so that I can make sure I get into your VoiceThread? I'm a little behind on Perry Crafters because I was launching some other program, but I want to get back in, and the funnest part for me is interacting with everybody. So what are mood boards? Do I have a mood board around here? Let me grab one. Hang on. Okay, actually, I just had a massive book avalanche. Ha! I had to research to figure it out. Oops, I missed some of that. This isn't really mood boards, but this is a book of, this is a really old one, but it's like concept boards. You could have swatches plus photos, you know, that inspire a whole collection. So this could be for a swimwear collection. Here's swatches, colors, plus images, plus ideas. You know, that could be a mood board. A mood board could be, there's no one rule about what it could be like, but this is kind of like a junior feel. So swatches, image, it may include specific fashion, it may include just words or ideas. Laura, I followed your direction on adding it to the voice thread so you could find it easily. Oh, okay, good. Okay. Then I'm going to double check. Actually, Myra, you're probably in the, and you tagged it. Okay, but if you don't hear from me, please, I don't mean to make it hard on you, but please let me know if you don't hear from me and you want feedback. So mood boards tell a story, right? And mood boards, okay, promise? Because I'm kind of juggling right now while I'm trying to get things off the ground. All of my different survival, my different jobs and things that I do to keep the household afloat. So a mood board you could start with just a fabric board. A mood board might start with an image of something let's just say I was like nuts about this. Maybe I wanted to do a collection that had plaid pants on the bias. I mean, check that out. These are on the bias, so not only does the plaid take on a new look, but it also drapes differently. Bias is going to really cling and get very, very skinny on the legs. That's cool. Or maybe I like this because it has lace layered over satin or charmeuse, and maybe that's a theme for me. You know, anything you take a picture of that maybe I want to explore these short boxy jackets. I mean, these, honestly, you never see bias pants like that. And also, it's hard to get a long bias pant because you have to cut all the pattern pieces on the diagonal, so you probably won't have enough length in your fabric to even make the bias pants, so you would have to have like seams here and there. Bear that in mind when you design something like that you probably won't be able to cut the pant out all in one piece. Thanks for the hearts, my loves. You probably have to piece it somewhere. That's also something you really want to think about when you design with leather. If you're designing pants with leather that's real leather, you got to remember that the skins are limited in size. So that's why leather pants often have a lot of piecing in them. But like, how cool is that, right? So let's say I have this. I'm going to step away from these. I was going to talk to you about some specifics about textile constructions. For example, this is a pattern, a woven pattern. The bolt will most likely be long enough to complete the pattern. Oh, you think? Good. Yeah, probably if the long skinny pants, I got to follow you. Hi, Sage. You got to make sure that it is, right? Otherwise you have to piece it. Here's a woven pattern, and I want to clarify this because it's not clear for everybody that something like this is not a woven pattern. This is a fake batik. I bought it at an African print. Hi. In the African section of at a fabric place in the garment district, but it's not cotton. It's like a rayon. It has an embossed floral on it, and then it's a fake batik. It's really just a print, which is interesting. But isn't it the prettiest thing ever? It looks like a chain. But I wanted to clarify, for a lot of people, there's a question. The difference between a print and a woven pattern. This is a pattern too, but this is printed on, whereas this is woven in. And the biggest difference is, a print, on this one, it's so easy to see that the pattern is applied to the outside of the fabric. Hi, Gibbs. Hi. I haven't seen you in so long. I feel like I'm on memory lane today. Hello. And this one is woven. So this is really, oh, wait, okay. I haven't seen you in so long. I see you scope today. What'd you scope about? So you see how this is woven right in? The pattern's created through weaving. That's so cool. And notice that this one, both sides are identical. That doesn't always happen, but that's interesting. So there is no right or wrong side on this one. How cool is that? Whereas this one, definitely, There's a difference. You're just saying hello. Oh, that means a lot to me, sweetie. So that's me too. I haven't been on, but honestly, I want to be on a lot more. And that I just get so overwhelmed about, it's that thing where perfectionism makes you procrastinate. I'm so overwhelmed about not knowing what you guys want to hear from me. May the 4th be with you. I love it. That's good. I'm gonna have to check it out. This is a mesh, which technically is, it's not a knit. It doesn't stretch at all. Okay. Hi, Myra. This kind of mesh is, used for athletic stuff. It's a nylon poly. The thing is, once you get some fabrics that you love together, I'm not sure I love these together, but once you do, I always start with fabric because I love all the hearts. I swear, I feel like I'm getting tickled. Once you have a set of fabrics that you want to work together, when you present your sketches with the swatch, like this one, you guys have probably seen this one before. Oh, all kinds of jean. Do you still have swatches of the jean fabric? Right? That periwinkle kind of color. Hang on. Makes people so happy. Right? This stuff. This one. Oh, I love that kind of cool, soft blue. But see, these sketches are accompanied by the fabric swatches. And in my online course and in my classes at Parsons, that in your portfolio, whether you're trying to get a career in fashion or just have a wonderful time. Oh, when I was in high school, all the fabrics were all the jeans were stonewashed. You want to have fabrics first. At least that's what I say. You want to start with your fabrics and then start sketching. 93, I hear that. I graduated high school in 90. And if you can't get fabric swatches, a lot of students struggle with that if they're not in a major city where you can go to big fabric stores. You can buy ribbons and cut them. Because if you're actually just creating art or a portfolio or looking for a job, 76, wow, really? Nah. High school 2003. Yeah, I'm always amazed how young my students are. You graduated high school 93. My youngest was born in 2009. Yeah, I don't believe you either. So this is a piece of ribbon, and I'm mentioning that because any of you who are stranded and feel like you don't have swatches, you can get nice big, well, that inspires me. Gibbs. Myra, if you have big ribbons, you can use them as fabric swatches. This really feels like an organza. You sure do. You look fantastic. And here's another, this is just a tiny ribbon, but even tiny ribbons you can use for color. Because believe me, when things start to feel real, when you're holding colors and different weights in your hand, different textures, when you know, how much does it stretch? How opaque is it? What does it feel like? It's going to change the way you draw. Well, drawings always look more youthful because the age comes from adding more wrinkle and more texture takes more time and more work. So our drawings start out young and they get more and more wrinkled and textured as we add lines to them. So this would be another story. And I always like to post my fabric stories on plain white paper so that the color is just isolated. It's going to help you. Hi, everybody. Thanks for the delicious hearts. Having the colors on a white background are going to help you isolate the colors when you mix your paints so that your sketches will really match your swatches. For me, especially if I was hiring, it's so important that you have a good eye for color. Having sketches that match your swatches, thank you, is really going to show that you have that eye for, not for, oh, yes, I love contrast. Oh, do I love contrast. That's so funny. Did we talk about that? Here's another one. The swatches are down below, and then the sketches up above. All of that is fabric. Down below, yeah, like these are fabric swatches. This is actually fabric. This is leather. I used to work at a Rockaware leather, juniors and plus size leather, and these were actually, most of these swatches came from that job. This is leather. This is a lycra. This is canvas, and this is another. Oh, this one is not leather. It's very leather-ish. So the people in the clothes, here's a really good project idea if you're still learning. So same up here. These are the swatches. And those are, what I did was, these were actually magazine poses. So like this was Naomi Campbell in an ad for Pinko. This was something from Brazilian Elle. This was from like Vogue. These are all magazine photos. And what I would have my students do in the class is, thank you so much. These are my sketches, but these are ones I did live in class, in studio classes. Hang on, let me unplug my phone. So are these. You can actually see that these are the same figures. So I did these both on one day. I used to teach 3 classes in one day and 2 the next. And what I did was I had the magazine photos of these poses. Thank you. And what I did was I sketched the figures just with a pencil to show them how I sketched it. So if you go up close, you can see all the little pencil lines. This is behind plastic right now, so it's kind of shiny, but like. And then what I did was, thank you so much. All I did was sketch the outfits. Then I took my swatches. Thank you. And instead of using the fabrics that were in the magazine, like this was like pink, this was white, you know, this was black, this was green. And I took my swatches and made decisions about how I'd use these colors and patterns over these shapes. And that's a really great way to work when you're ready to sketch, but you're not ready to sketch. Color Joy, you always show up in the color that you wear. It's so funny. Then I can make fabric choices. You will. Well, see, these are all drawing from something I see. But at the same time, when I draw what I see, I give it its own style, as so will you. And when I draw all these clothes from different designers, different outfits, they become unified through my eye and my hand. So a lot of students worry so much about copying. And it's so funny because even the biggest designers are copying so much. Oh my God, I'm loving your hearts. Thank you. I'm so glad I came on. So what happens is you are, see, I don't sketch as skinny as I used to. And I embrace, in my classes and stuff, I embrace people working with all sizes, any and all sizes. So, but we learned to draw distorted bodies when I was in school, and when I was in school, oh, honey, hi. Hi. Well, we should be connecting on Skype. I've been like kind of spiraling too with like all these weird job applications and all kinds of things are going on. My mother got shingles and I've been worried about her. I just visited her. She's in a lot of pain right now and been on the sofa. But so when you can sketch what you see in magazines and then plug your own fabrics in, it's a great way to get started thinking about how you'd like to mix and match the fabrics across a group. Oh, yeah, it's such a shame. Such a shame. She just moved, too. She, like, downsized into a little condo, and it was a huge move, and maybe she got so worn out, you know, that now she's sick. Thank you. The Curvy Sewing Collective. My mom got shingles, which apparently isn't really about your skin. It's much more about pain, nerve pain. Here's an interesting swatch. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, you know what, Myra? You got me so excited. I'm going to pull out my portfolio from when I was in school, which I used to be really proud of, but I don't. Oh, my gosh. Right? Oh, she is just... It's terrible. It's terrible. Did you ever get shingles too? No, it's terrible that Grandma got shingles. This is my...
Mom, Lua came home.
Hi, Lua. My portfolio from when I was in school. Actually, this isn't quite high enough for you to see everything.
Hi, Kelly.
What's that?
She's bad.
From where?
Lua.
Oh my gosh, that's wonderful. You had the chicken. Oh my gosh. I had chicken pox when I was little, but I don't remember. This is the cover of my book. I've had my name. This is the year. And this is Abby Lincoln and Betty Carter, some singers I was into. I made them into little postage stamps and made it look like a letter to myself. Ah, thank you. This is art from the Jacob Lawrence exhibit that was happening at the Met at the time. That was really awesome. My boyfriend at the time was from Ghana. Thank you. We were together for 3 years. I used to go to all these wonderful events and things with him. So that's why I have this kente fabric here, because I love it. So this is all about orange and blue. And like I said, you're not going to be able to see the whole book because it's not really big enough. Let's see. I had a fever blister. Hang on. Go into my gums and upper palate. Is that when you had... Oh my gosh, that's terrible. But you're not sick now, right? I like this board because it reminds me of when I lived in Paris. There was just all these different nationalities. Really recently, oh, that's terrible. I used to get cold sores a lot. That's Celia Cruz. I love Celia Cruz. I used to sing in a salsa band, so I've seen her live. So I was really happy to find that picture of her and put it in there. And then this is like the introduction mood. So here's a mood board, okay? A mood board. This is an illustration by Tamara de Lampica, who I have a blog article about her on my blog. She's a really interesting, fine artist.
Wow.
You know, it's probably a little bit of both because everything's in your head. You know, it all gets mixed. So this group was a transition into fall. So it has a little bit of a feeling of summer or spring. And it has pinstripes. That's why I have this. And these are Japanese prints that I love. Yes, you're totally tickling me. And it matches. It matches really well. So here's my 2 skinny girls. And here's my swatches. Lynn, I'm so glad you're here. Just chat with us and enjoy the company. Trying to keep my phone from flipping. So these are the 2 swatches. So it's like a chalk wool pinstripe. I'm so sorry that my phone keeps moving. And then I was interning for Byron Lars at the time. Shirt Tails was the name of his line. He's featured in my book. He's a really cool American designer who you don't see much anymore. It really is what a mood board. Oh, polka dots. Hi, Fluffy Puffs. So glad you're here. Oh, okay. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Gibbs. Thanks for stopping by, sweetie. Bye. We love to visit with you. So mood board, of course yours is okay. Because guess what, Myra? It can be anything. Like, there is no rule. It could be, this could be your mood board. You know, just this. And then, yeah, I bet, right? Or it could be very specific. It could be very, very, very specific. Specific, you know, fashion. This is my school portfolio, by the way, Fluffy Puffs. This is from 1994 or 1995. I don't draw this skinny anymore. Sorry, my phone keeps flipping. It's the angle. Mood board, it can be a very loose. I'm going to have to put this up because if it flips one more time, I think I'm going to cry. Avalanche. So all designers submit the same vein, often specific. Yeah, your mood board should give a feel about the direction of your design group. And they're really going to, a mood board's going to enhance your designs. Like, doesn't having this on the page even just add something to the designs? Doesn't having a fabric and a mood board with your group say more about the collection? Okay, now everything's a disaster now. I just had a massive crash down. So These are flats, hand-drawn flats, and I'm showing the color blocking. You don't have to show that, but I was showing how I was using 2 fabrics on each jacket. Yeah, just have a lot of fun with it. Honestly, a mood board's going to be where you're growing your ideas. So this one, now I have to turn off the lights because all the plastic is reflecting. So these are illustrations. Thank you. More African prints from Velisco and woven fabrics. I was just really into that. And see how the fabrics, I give you techniques for how to match your paint. Sorry about the plastic. To your swatches so that you can illustrate your designs. So this was all like a North African influence from Paris. A lot of like the long robes that the men wore that inspired the longer jackets. And then, so these aren't mood boards though. This is like a portfolio presentation. So it has sketches, and then I put other elements just to like decorate the page. This book is 25 years old, so it's all it's getting very wrinkly. Also because I used rubber cement in it, so the rubber cement really wreaks havoc on the plastic over time. I'm gonna stop after this group, and I'll show this another time. I appreciate you guys joining me. These are the flats, front and back design sketches. So your mood board can be very loose. Some people's mood boards are like these. Yes, it could be a storyboard. And actually what I'm showing you here right now is a portfolio presentation. So this here isn't actually a mood board at all. Yes, glue sticks are less destructive. Good point. So this isn't a mood board. This is just like a layout presentation. A mood board is going to be, let me show you a fun book that is not expensive, and then I'll let you guys go in a minute. Here, it's called, let me show you this one. A mood board could be, some people's mood boards are like 1,000,000 cut out pictures from the latest runway show. If you ask me, that's more of a trend board, or that's more, I don't know, it's so busy that I find it really hard to get inspired when it's that busy, but there's a purpose for that. It all depends what the mood board is being used for. Is it being used to communicate color or texture? Is it more of the open-ended part of the design process where you're saying, here's the feeling, here's the shape? Or is it like super specific? This collar, we want, this kind of darts right here, You can collect as specifically or as loosely as you want. I encourage you to begin loosely so you can really let your right brain, let it be a pleasure, mood, feeling experience first, and then get really specific. That's what I would say, Myra. Rather than being super, but you might have a boss who's like, already given you a board. Like, here's, pin-up models in swimsuits from that era. These are the colors we're looking at. That's it, It all depends, how much open-ended room you have. So every single place I've worked, the mood boards have had a totally different feel. And you got to see a bunch of different examples in the course as well, too, right? There are a lot of different kinds. Some were on the wall, some were in a notebook, somewhere. But double stick tape is my favorite way to mount swatches and stuff. Hi, Gloria. And before we go, I don't like the cover much. It doesn't look all that fascinating. But the fact is, and a lot of the figures are like too tall and skinny in there. Thank you. It's been raining for like weeks, so I'm feeling very like, ugh. Oh, so check this out. Like here's a fabric board, very nicely presented for children's wear, with children's wear illustrations. But that's not really a mood board necessarily. Let me see. I think there's some mood boards. Here's another fabric board. But you can often mix your fabrics and your mood images. Okay, so, well, here we go. Maybe something like this. What is this? A peeled apple, a nude woman, An aerial photograph. I don't know where they're going with this, but you know, you may start so loosely.
What?
Exactly. Lynn, exactly. It was like, and not, it was like warm and sunny and cool and everything turned green. And then suddenly it's like cold and dark and wet for days on end. Like everyone I know is having a hard time with that. These are awesome. Oh yeah, you know, and that is part of the like pure, utter beauty and joy of Periscope. Why am I really scoping today? Oh, really? I'm scoping because I'm procrastinating a tedious job that I have to do. I feel so much better to connect with you all. So you have flooding, huh? Yeah, Myra, are you still on? What's it like? She's in Panera. She's in pastry heaven. Ah, well, this is cool. Look at this trims, a trim board. So, like for example, Lynn, Color Joy, you know, you could take a lot of your yarns and threads and just create color boards, you know. I think this book is kind of useful for that, for seeing different presentations. They lost school days. Wow. So it's an interesting book just for inspiration, especially because it's not overly expensive. I like that. It's like $25. This is the one I recommend for my my online course. Just something you could pick up and get ideas, and not just ideas, but a lot of information. So that's like really cool. But mood board can be, people want to share some mood boards in the Fashion Tribalistas group. It would be a fun place as well to give and get feedback. But the best thing, last thing I want to say, you give yourself a sketchbook that you only make mood boards in. Because you can make your mood boards with glue and paper, or you could actually make them on your desktop, in your computer, or using a collaging app. Either way, the more boards you make, different ones for different seasons, for evening wear, for parties, different moods, different women even. You could even make a board that is just about visualizing your woman, visualizing her lifestyle, images, locations. When you do that, you start to see your own voice emerge. Like you're too close to the subject at the time, but when you start compiling and doing these collections of boards, and then you look back on them even a week later, a day later, you're going to start to see, oh, that's who I am. Boards is an amazing way to design and create before you even draw. You're still being a visual creator, but before you even drawing. Exactly. And a lot of designers, it's wonderful to sketch and draw, and some people, that's all they want to do. They don't even want to design. Other people can even design. Yay! Oh, I gotta click. Thanks for sharing. You can actually fully be a designer without ever sketching, just by having garments, photos, you know, and measurements, and like there's a process. There's different ways you can create garments off of existing garments with modifications, or by, like I said, with these are original designs. Original designs off poses. Oh. You can make all your own swatches, Lynn. Yes, with knit, with crochet. I know designers who got jobs just because they had some very simple knitted swatches in their portfolio that set them apart. Simple swatches, but just because not everyone knits either, you know. Or maybe it's the way you mix colors and textures in your knits that is what your design is all about. Your knit sweaters could be perfect squares. Yay! And share them. There's so many different places you could share them. You could share them in the class, Samina. You could share them in Paracrafters, or in the inside the group of the online course, because sharing it is a great way to get feedback and stuff. And bye everybody. I'm going to go too because I'm supposed to be finishing this resume for this new job. I got a local university, but they still need a CV, and it has to be about music, and most of my curriculum, my resume is about art and design. Yay! You submitted them into the Photoshop. Thank you. It's bringing up a lot of weird stuff. The corporate, academic environments. I've had some PTSD in those departments. That's right. Although something has to be paid. God bless everybody. Not signed up for your course but love your scopes. Oh, Samina, you should come on down. But we'll do more. That's right. Volunteer work for sure. For sure. Well, Samina, just keep in touch. Ask stuff because it gives me ideas what to scope about as well. All right? Because I always want to be scoping about something I think is useful. Thank you for all the hearts. Hope you enjoyed my Brazilian bodysuit. And let's try to get together. What do you mean? Of course. Of course. Bye. And YouTube, like, all my old scopes are on YouTube right now, but I haven't labeled and sorted them. Yeah, so there's a lot of stuff there too. The only difference with the online course is that it's like in order. It's very like systematic, like, but there's so much on YouTube. Yeah. And I'm still, a lot of it's unlisted, but a lot of it isn't. So, and Vimeo. A lot of my scopes went onto Vimeo, and I'm definitely going to go put some makeup on now. Bye, girls. Ciao.